Fairy tale realm, enchanted forest. Once upon a time, in the boundaries of the fairyland, there lived a lovely girl named Elif. She was quite a curious girl. One day, while listening to the chirping of colorful birds, she heard a strange sound. It was as if a voice was calling her, saying, "Come, Elif, come here." Yet, there was no one around. Intrigued by the dreamlike voice, she joyfully set off towards the depths of the forest, taking small steps. Throughout her time in the forest, the fluttering of butterflies' wings and the rustling of tree leaves presented her with a magical world. However, Elif suddenly lost her way as she wandered through the forest. She became lost among the thickening trees and mysterious paths. The sky began to darken. Yet, she was not afraid because she carried courage, self-confidence, and love in her heart. Furthermore, the voice calling her never left Elif alone, providing her with reassurance. This kept Elif courageous. However, there was an oddity she couldn't comprehend. Everyone in the fairyland would hide and flee whenever they saw her, avoiding any conversation with her. Walking through the depths of the forest, both bewildered and saddened by this strange situation, she encountered a peacock princess with an enchanting appearance. The princess was beautiful but unhappy. Yet, interestingly, she didn't run away from Elif. With an affectionate voice, the peacock princess said, "Welcome, Elif." Elif, astonished, said, "How do you know my name? Besides, I think I've heard your voice before." Smiling, the peacock princess explained, "I am the source of the beauty and happiness in this fairyland forest. My vibrant feathers both scatter beauty and inform me about what happens in the fairyland. Through them, I know and feel everything. But slowly, I started losing these emotions, this ability. Actually, I not only knew your name but also that you would come here. That's why I called you." She began to tell Elif everything. She taught Elif the secrets of the forest. "To restore beautiful days, please help us." All this trouble started when that sorcerer came and settled in the fairyland. We were waiting for someone who wouldn't succumb to evil, someone with a heart full of love, courage, and intelligence. Only that person could save us. That person is you. That's why I called you." With these words, the peacock princess shared the forest's secrets with Elif. "I believe you will know what to do. I trust that you will accomplish this task. Now, I will give you a gift. Please accept this gift from me. Its colors are fading right now. But I believe that, thanks to you, one day, our colors in nature will revive. On that day, you might find this feather useful." The peacock princess then pulled out a feather from her tail and gave it to Elif. Elif thanked her for the gift, said her goodbyes, and set off on her way again. Lost in thought, she contemplated what she should do. Just then, she encountered bright, sparkling butterflies descending from the sky. "Don't worry, Elif. We will help you," they said. It turned out that the peacock princess had informed the butterflies in advance about Elif's arrival and asked them to help. Each butterfly, with its wisdom on different subjects, quickly taught Elif everything they knew. Elif was a very clever girl. She learned everything quickly because she was doing it willingly and lovingly. Finally, one day, they said, "Follow us, we will introduce you to someone. After learning from us, that person will be the one to help you." For a while, they continued their journey. Suddenly, a rabbit appeared in front of them. But this was no ordinary rabbit, it was the legendary star rabbit of the forests. The star rabbit's duty was to awaken the stars that couldn't wake up from their sleep at night and make them shine in the moonlight. This way, the forest became brighter, safer, and more peaceful. However, for some time, although the stars were awake, they couldn't shine. The reason was that the Princess of the Stars had been captured by the sorcerer who settled in the fairyland. They were all very sad. The balance of nature was disrupted. The forest became very dark and frightening at night. All the creatures in the forest were restless and fearful because at any moment, the sorcerer could appear in an unknown form. He constantly wandered, changing his appearance. Therefore, they had lost trust in anyone. Elif was very sensitive to the balance of nature. When she heard these things, she became very sad. She asked the Star Rabbit, "Then why don't you rescue the Star Princess from the sorcerer?" The Star Rabbit lowered its head and said, "We are very afraid of him." Elif said, "If you are afraid, then I will rescue the Star Princess. Where can I find the sorcerer?" The rabbit said, "I will take you there." They set off, and after walking for a while, they came across a huge palace. It turned out to be the sorcerer's palace. The Star Rabbit said it couldn't get any closer and left. Elif, with all her courage, moved towards the palace. Just as she reached the palace door, the large door creaked open on its own. This sound frightened Elif, but she had promised to do this, and she would. As she entered, she faced the sorcerer. The sorcerer asked, "What are you doing here? Who are you?" Elif replied, "It doesn't matter who I am. What matters is that you answer, what does it mean to imprison the fairyland in darkness? You not only frightened those living there but also made them stay without light at night. Now you will immediately release the Star Princess." When the sorcerer heard Elif's words, he started laughing hysterically. Moreover, he kept changing his appearance continuously. Sometimes a man, sometimes beautiful, sometimes an ugly witch, sometimes an interesting creature. "How dare you ask such a thing from me? Aren't you afraid of me?" he said. Elif replied, "Why should I be afraid? You can't do anything to me." The sorcerer said, "Is that so? Now you will see. Let me turn you into a cat." He sprinkled some dust on Elif and shouted, "Abracadabra, hocus pocus, turn into a cat." Suddenly, Elif turned into a beautiful white cat, but she could still speak. She was calm and fearless. She knew that rushing and speaking without thinking were not good things. Her mother had taught her this. Therefore, she needed to act as if nothing had happened and make a plan. Since she could be a cat, she could eventually turn back into herself. So, she wasn't scared at all. In a calm tone, she said, "Ah, I look so beautiful now. Thank you. You turned me into a cat, I guess it's an easy thing. I see that you keep changing your appearance all the time, but you never become an animal. Can you transform into an animal? Can you do that?" The sorcerer replied, "What's so difficult about that? Of course, I can turn into any form I desire." Elif said, "I don't believe it. Do it and let's see." The sorcerer laughed, "Ha ha ha, is that so? Watch how I do it then," and he instantly turned into a mouse. "How was that? Did you see? Now I will become a bear," he said, and suddenly turned into a large brown bear. Elif said, all right, I've seen it. But you are big, that's why you always become a big animal. I don't think you can be a small animal. Can you?" The sorcerer laughed, "Ha ha ha, is that so? Watch me become a squirrel," and he turned into a squirrel. He was hopping around. When Elif started purring and murmured, "A big animal again, you cannot be a smaller one, I guess." The sorcerer said, "All right, Do you want to see something else? Tell me, and I will become it. Then you will believe me. Elif had already planned this. I don't know, what should I choose? How about becoming a bird? No, something smaller. Okay, I've got it, become a tiny mouse. But I'm sure you can't. Because mice are very small. You definitely cannot become a mouse, she said. The sorcerer replied, Is that so? Watch me becoming a mouse, see, and he instantly turned into a mouse. It turned out that Elif's plan was this. She immediately jumped and caught the tiny mouse and swallowed it in one bite. The sorcerer disappeared. The spells the sorcerer cast began to break one by one. Elif turned back to herself. The locked doors of the palace opened. All the imprisoned animals inside started running away. Among them was the Star Princess, coming towards Elif with a smile, shining brightly. She thanked Elif for what she had done. Now I must go to the sky, to my friends. I won't forget you. Every night when you go to sleep, I will light you up from your window and wait for you until morning, she said and slid away, disappearing into the sky. After a short while, the darkness of the night began to illuminate with the sparkle of the stars. At the same time, the forest resonated with the cheerful songs of the birds. Everyone had left the sorcerer's palace. When Elif realized that there was no one inside, she also came out. Just then, the palace suddenly collapsed and disappeared. The forest inhabitants who understood what had happened ran to Elif. They were all very happy. They thanked Elif repeatedly. The forest was now free from the sorcerer and had returned to lively, cheerful, peaceful, and happy days. Everyone was laughing and playing. Everything was beautiful, but Elif was a little unhappy. Seeing this, the Star Rabbit asked, Why are you sad? Elif replied, I miss my family a lot. I want to go home, but I don't know how to. The Star Rabbit asked, What is that you wear on your hair? Do you know its purpose? Elif said, It's a feather from the Peacock Princess. She gave it to me. As she mentioned it, she saw that the feather had such bright and vivid colors, shining brightly. The Peacock Princess's words had come true. The Star Rabbit knew that this feather was magical. Since you're in a difficult situation, close your eyes and make a wish with it. It will reunite you with your home and family. But please, don't forget us, okay? Elif, with concern, brought the feather close to her face and closing her eyes, said, I want to go home. Please help me. She waited with her eyes closed for a while. It seemed like nothing happened. Disappointed, she opened her eyes and said, It didn't work, Rabbit brother. But to her surprise, she had arrived in front of her house. She couldn't believe her eyes. She looked around, but no one was there. She hurriedly ran home, entered, and hugged her mother and father. Her family had missed her a lot. They asked where she had been. Elif said, You won't believe it, I experienced such interesting things. I will tell you everything, and hugged them tightly. Elif brought peace and love to the fairyland. Through her courage and kindness, the creatures of the forest and the fairyland found peace and happiness. She was very happy to be reunited with her family. She told her family about her magnificent adventure in the fairyland for days. This experience guided her throughout her life. Placing the Peacock Princess's feather in a vase on her desk, she looked at it. As she gazed at it, her courage and self-confidence increased, and her life became more colorful and beautiful. She believed that the future would be very beautiful for her. The Peacock Princess had told her, knowing the value of love and being loved is the key to happiness. Never forget that. She peacefully slept every night with the rays of the Star Princess filtering through her window. Sometimes, she even dreamed of herself as a peacock. Love and happiness from the fairyland had become her way of life. With these feelings, she lived a happy and content life. May the same happen to those who listen to this tale. Goodbye.